IVM.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Simplified, a show that explains intense topic from around the world and simplifies it for you so that you can appear cooler in front of your friends.
You're listening to TFG Football.
What's up, everyone? It's a new episode of the TFG Indian Football Podcast, and here we are. We are back again in the studio. We are nowhere wandering around. Me and Kevin are here. Chiranjit is joining us as usual. Phone and Skype is the usual things. Today is joining us via Skype, and we begin with, of course, last night's match, the AFC Cup Inter-Zonal Final first leg between Istiklol and Bengaluru FC.
Dude, they have been lolling about beating Bengaluru FC and you still forget their name.
Yeah, that's like, I was like, okay, I was supposed to say, I'm still in the hangover of, I've not come over of now, 25th April. So, I just realized that that's done. But yeah, there was nothing to smile at the end of the match for Bengaluru FC and their fans because it was a 1-0 defeat. And towards the end, a lot of things happening. Players, I see Chetri sprinting towards the referee at the final whistle, and then Roka comes in because there was towards the end a lot of drama took place. But before that, we'll definitely talk about the whole game. Chiranjit, your thoughts on the match?
See, just going into this match, I don't think anybody would have expected Bengaluru FC to keep a clean sheet. Okay. And it was always going to be a hustle of a game where the outcome of the entire encounter would be dependent on how well you used the one or two opportunities that this kind of a team would present to you. You know, the same kind of situation that happened in the Johor Darul Tazim away game in the semi-final last year. Johor Darul Tazim played well. They were playing at home. They were being attacking. They were in charge. But Eugene Lingdo scored that wonderful goal, and they came into the second leg all feeling pumped up because of that, because they had that away goal advantage. Here, Bengaluru FC tried their hardest. They put up their hardest fight I have seen in a very long time. It's not like they fight any less, but this was an especially trying game for this new young team. Young in the sense that it has just been assembled, a lot of new players in there. But they got let down by the referee when that one golden moment presented itself. Okay, I think Sunil Chetri was I was a bit disappointed earlier for the game during the game by his performance, because Udanta did set him up a couple of times, and his final shot was missing. He either caught a defender or his shot was weak, and the keeper got it. But this time he did not make a mistake, and Bengaluru FC deserved a penalty. And you can talk all the way about the kind of way the game progressed, right? And how Istiklol created chances, how Gurpreet made so many good saves, how there was some super tough defending done by the BFC defenders, how whenever they could, the Istiklol defense would always try to outnumber the BFC attackers. So the game was a bit of a chess match for Bengaluru FC because they were facing a physically superior team, and technically a lot of the players were better as well. It was only Udanta Singh who could step with them in pace. But they created it. They went in, and in the last moment they created their golden moment and they got let down. So that moment just eclipses the entire match because it's completely altered the outcome of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, your thoughts on the match, and of course that final incident that we kind of missed out, and then there was no replay of it.
There was hardly any replay to see that incident. But starting off, I will begin with the player selection. Colin Abranches was a straight wrong picking for starting that game. Khabra would have been a much better choice, and I would like to.
There were a lot of changes, not just
I would like to see this positional experiment that Roka has done.
Right.
Now, Eric Partalu, as much as I know, he's a defensive midfielder. He started as a central defense, and Wanan moved to the right, and Wanan
even
moved
Dovale, I thought he was a winger.
So it was all an experiment by Roka that did not work out. Udanta Singh was playing as a striker. How many times have you seen that?
Yeah, and we Bengaluru kind of missed him on the wings.
How many crosses did you see from the right wing coming in? Colin Abranches, he gave away the ball too cheaply. He did not send in the crosses. There was no support provided by him, to Tony in the middle. And for me, if I have to pick, a good player apart from Gurpreet, obviously he was one of the best, and credit to him that Bengaluru did not score. Bengaluru did not concede more than 2 goals. It would have easily gone in if it would have been not for Gurpreet.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I think Dimas Delgado played an excellent game because the formation was such that the 3 backline was given the cover by Lenny and Dimas. They were playing just ahead of the defense. Mostly Dimas trying to help out the defense, and Lenny was the one who was trying to go up and down. The formation kind of did not help Bengaluru with this new change of positions.
Do you agree the first half they look the players itself looked like they were adjusting to their positions?
It was, you look at Tony, he was kind of lost in the midfield.
Yeah.
These all the changes, you do too many changes at once. This is what you're going to get from these experiments. And somewhere I thought Chetri was the only guy who played in a correct position, but then he didn't have the best of days last night. So that's why he was completely, kind of not there in the picture. And as much as you would want him to step up to his responsibilities, Udanta Singh was kind of okay, but the balls reaching him were far too less.
Yeah.
That was the problem. And Bengaluru actually started playing when they conceded the goal.
Yeah.
That's when they let go of everything. That defensive mindedness that they had.
Came back strong the second half.
When it's playing defensive is very difficult because you know that you cannot make any mistakes. And Bengaluru did not make any mistakes yesterday. All they had is they don't want Istiklol to come inside, from either sides. They did that well, but again, there was not enough to create a chance for Bengaluru to get in that goal. It's only after the goal was conceded then they started, more aggressive gameplay. And the goal, the way it was conceded, it was an excellent cross.
It was a brilliant goal.
The biggest danger for Bengaluru was not when there were too many Istiklol players in the box. It was when there were too less.
Yeah, and when there are too many Bengaluru FC players crowding it.
So it was a total, surprise that they took the lead, and although it was coming, but Bengaluru did not expect in that fashion to come in. And yes, the second half was much better than the first half. Obviously, they knew that one away goal can make a lot of difference in the home leg. So they went all out. Thabra's change, you see the immediate effect what it brought, and
some pace to the game,
and more sense. There was more support given from the right wing. And everybody had more freer roles than where Colin Abranches was there. We seen he was giving away the ball too easily, and there was no actually, his contribution to the game wasn't there.
Yeah, I think this also comes from the fact that he's only been used at some point, at some AFC Cup matches, and he's not used to playing, or not just him or any other player for that matter, who's only used selective games, and they're not used to playing the coordination or something like that. Maybe that's the reason. But one more point before Chiranjit takes over, if he has a point, is that I would add Beke to the list of who had a decent game last night, because he was really playing. He gave his heart out. I mean, as always, he is the free throw specialist, but he did a good, there were a lot of good tackles, and he did a good job at the back. Anything else, takeaways from this game, Chiranjit, that Bengaluru needs to look at the Fortress when they play?
Yeah, well, the 3-4-3 that they started with, as Kevin was talking about, I think a lot of nerves were there simply because they had not tried that formation out as often against a side like this. So the idea was right, just like you played against North Korean April 25th Sports Club, and they overwhelmed them with physical play. This was an attempt to just, you're going to go to Istiklol's home ground, and you're going to put in an offensive posture and that would sort of turn the table on what they would be expecting from the beginning. But the nerves sort of got better of them. There was some stiffness to their game, but the kind of things they had prepared for, they did very well. Like Zalilov, who had scored a bunch of goals, the hitman, he's been scoring non-stop since he joined Istiklol. He got cordoned off very well. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you jog a memory, you're gonna remember Sunil Chetri, who was not getting much room up front, so he started tracking further and further back to get some room for himself and get more of the ball. At one point, when Zalilov was about to get the ball, Sunil Chetri became a part of a cordon team that was trying to get him off the ball, and he even tackled him. Okay, Sunil Chetri going and tackling Zalilov way inside BFC half. So that shows even Sunil was realizing that he was not doing his job as much up front, and he tried to increase his work rate over there. But see, Bengaluru FC, I actually digressed over there. Bengaluru FC were doing well on what they were planning for, and Kevin is right when he says that they did not expect the goal to come in that fashion. Okay, and I think what we saw towards the second half was they were playing a bit more freely because the bad thing had already happened, so now it was a matter of chasing the game, and it was a counter where they catch the opponents in a surprise, and they just try to overwhelm them with numbers. Was exactly what they were planning for. So when suddenly there are 30 seconds left in the game, and you see 6 or 7 Bengaluru FC players just running like some bulldogs are chasing them, and that's what they were expecting. That's how they envisioned it, and it was just coming together so beautifully. I personally was trying to figure out what happened with that handball situation. Just coming back to that, obviously they did not show any replays. So I found a highlights video where they showed that from the primary angle, the main camera in normal speed. So it's very hard to spot, but you can tell that this guy, I think Tamaritov or something his name was, so he sees the ball coming towards Sunil Chetri, and he's taking position, and his hands are stretched out on both sides. Okay, and when the ball is hit towards him, he instinctively tries to put the hand behind his back. He knows that the ball might hit his hand, but he fails. The ball hits his hand anyway, and when the ball hits, I'm 90% sure the hands were outside his body. Because just when the ball hits, another defender just comes running back, and at that crucial moment he blocks the camera's view of the ball. Yep. So I'm 90% sure that his hands were outside his body. And if your hands are outside your body at a crucial situation like that, in the penalty box, and it catches the ball, I think intent does not matter. You have enough grounds to give a penalty over there. Yeah. Okay, and I'm just disappointed at this telecast. I'm pretty sure who put this together, beIN Sports or somebody, who are the producers of the broadcast, or Laga Dere. If this happened in EPL or Europa League or Champions League, everybody would show 20 replays from multiple angles, and they would dissect it to death. Yeah. Here they never even showed a replay. Yeah,
they are about to show the replay, but they cut that into, and then they control back the live action, the final kick. But it's unfortunate.
But later on they could have released a video of a different angle, which would answer for once and for all exactly what happened. Yeah. Here you can't even see properly. So this is what you can see, that AFC don't really want this to be discussed that much. It was not the only mistake the referee made anyway. So I'm probably just harping on the handball incident a lot, but it just feels bad, in the end, that a team which was punching up very obviously, and actually got their moment, and it got robbed because the referee did not see. So
yeah, it was a good shot in the end. But let's see how things work out when Bengaluru are here playing in their home at the Kanthirava Stadium. Now, moving on, let's see. Today we have a kick-off the FIFA Under-17 practice match at the Mumbai Football Arena, and it's a free event. Brazil takes on New Zealand, and we're not going to dwell much upon this match because, hey, it's a practice game, so
what?
But we're going to see Brazil in action. So, Kevin, what are you expecting? I mean, are you expecting them to be all out, a proper game? They'll come out and play. Okay, it's a practice game, but still, let's just...
No, it's not going to be an all-out game for either teams. It's just, the way of acclimatizing themselves to the weather, to the Indian conditions, because they've come in earlier, and this is what they want.
Yeah.
Just get the feel of the ground and the conditions over here, because it's not going to be as similar to what they've played in their home countries, and it's a long a week for them. So that's what the intention will be, just to get their legs ready for the game, and just just like a small warm up.
Yeah, exactly. I think this will be a better good way in for New Zealand, because this is Bombay is where they're going to play. I mean, technically it's New Bombay, it's not Bombay, but yeah. But the weather condition, they can get used to it. Now it's time. It's a free event, by the way, folks, so you can just get in, get your friends, everyone, families, as I said yesterday, whom you like, whom you don't like, just get them, everyone. I mean,
I think people in Mumbai should feel a bit lucky that they're actually getting to see this, because
That's
so many
yeah.
of these coaches, they're just saying that we'll do all the practice matches behind closed doors. That's what Colombia did.
Yeah.
And Minerva Punjab and Ranjit Bajaj was excitedly tweeting, "Hey, we're gonna play Colombia and everything." And then the coach came and said, "No, closed door."
Yeah.
And some people apparently turned up to see the match, but they found the gates of the ground closed, so they could not even get in. So imagine being told like that, and compare that to the situation in Mumbai, where you're being asked that to come in free of cost to come
to
and
watch
cheer.
a match. Yeah, practice
one
game.
of the favorites are gonna play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brazil.
And who's going to try their best to end their 14-year drought of a World Cup, for hands in the World Cup. So let's see how that works out. See you, Mumbaikars, see you at 5 p.m. at the Mumbai Football Arena. Now we slip into a short break, and we'll be back soon to, of course, preview the group that Brazil is in, which is called the Group of Death. We'll come back quick to talk about that. And also, on the other side, we will hear the Brazil coach. So stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Sanjeev.
And I'm Tushar.
And this is the Rotomouth Podcast, a weekly show where we talk about motors and motoring in India. Cars, bikes, rickshaws, buses, friends, familiars, and time pass.
Find us every week on the IVM podcast app or any other app you might use. Stuck in traffic? Put on Rotomouth. Taking a while in the loo? Rotomouth is there for you.
Dude, that sounded particularly disgusting.
Thank you. But seriously, catch Rotomouth every week.
And we are back again. It was a short, sweet break because we have a lot to talk right now. The Group D of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup that will be playing in Kochi. Okay, that was a very weird sound, but...
By the way, listeners, can you take a guess who's going to be from TFG present at Kochi? Take a guess.
Take a guess. Go for it. Take a guess. Keep guessing till the end of the game. Till the end of our game. That's the show. So let's not waste much time and talk about this group, because there will be a lot to talk about. We have Korea, North Korea, Niger, Brazil, and Spain in this group. Mind you, Niger is a new team, a debutant into this World Cup edition. And
what luck.
Yeah. Absolutely. Getting into this group, right, where Brazil, Spain, and North Korea. I'm like, okay, I'm like dead right now. If a newbie has to be put into that group, one is already intimidating because of the country itself, and the other two are giants of football. So
no, just imagine. Just look at this group. Brazil are the South American champions.
Yeah.
This under-17 team, and Spain are the European champions.
Yeah.
You're gonna face two continental champion teams
in a group stage.
Like I thought India had a bad draw. Like कुछ भी नहीं है यार उसके आगे.
Yeah, but then again, let's not be overconfident. Just like the Brazil coach Carlos Amadeu at the press conference, the pre-match conference before the practice game of New Zealand. But there was not much they were talking about the game, because everybody had a lot of things to ask both the coaches. But we are getting you Brazil's coach here, who talks about also in his long conversation that how he is also terming, yes, there are Europeans, yes, there are South Americans, but hey, do not forget the ones who are at least at the under-17, under-20 World Cups, the ones who dominate are the African teams, and they have won in the group, so they are not in any way going to undermine or say that take them easily. So without much wasting much time, let's hear what he has to say. He talks about that.
Yes, and for those who do understand Portuguese, we are keeping that
we are keeping that bit also.
And
so
it will be translated by the translator who was present.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't worry when you're saying, hey, kya baat kar rahi hai? There's a translator after that. So let's hear the Brazilian coach and the media manager.
We have not won this tournament for a long time. How disappointed are these people at home about this aspect, and what do you expect to do in this round?
O Brasil não ganha tem bastante tempo essa competição. Como que isso é visto no Brasil e o que vocês esperam para essa competição? O início foi? O Brasil não ganha o Mundial Sub-17 há bastante tempo, porque como que isso é visto dentro do Brasil, como as pessoas estão esperando de você acompanhar essa competição.
No Brasil nós somos sempre muito cobrados por grandes conquistas, mas a gente tem trabalhado com muita tranquilidade, porque o que a gente quer como principal objetivo é que nossos jogadores cheguem até a equipe principal. E se chegar na equipe principal conquistando títulos na 17 e 20, acontecer, isso seria visto de uma forma muito positiva dentro do Brasil.
In Brazil, every time everybody is looking forward for titles, but as we are working with young players, we are working for develop them. So our achievement is to get them to our professional team. But if we can do that, win competitions and winning trophies, of course, that it will be really positive for us.
Brazil as a nation has always produced stars both at the club and at the international level. Can you give us an insight into what the football model in the country is like that produces stars both at the club and international level? Because it's not the same training at the club and international level. So how does the team form and what is the model like?
O Brasil sempre produziu jogadores estrelas. Enfim, como que o Brasil faz isso? Produzir jogadores que são estrelas, mas não produz times que são tão fortes assim, mundialmente falando, mas produz estrelas mundiais.
Na realidade, o Brasil sempre teve equipes muito fortes mundialmente. Foi o Santos, na época de Pelé, de Coutinho, Pepe, Gilmar, do Santos Neves, o goleiro que jogou a Copa do Mundo e foi bicampeão mundial em 58 e 62. O Botafogo de Garrincha, o Flamengo de Zico, o São Paulo de Miller, de Raí. Então o Brasil sempre teve grandes equipes e que foram referências para o mundo. Com a globalização nos últimos 20 anos, isso mudou bastante e esses jogadores começaram a sair do Brasil cada dia que passa mais cedo. Antigamente saíam com 26, 27 anos, hoje com 16, 17, 18 anos já saem, e isso enfraqueceu o futebol internamente do Brasil. Os grandes clubes hoje já não têm as grandes estrelas, elas estão no cenário mundial em 10, 15 clubes do mundo, sobretudo Inglaterra, Espanha, Itália e França e Alemanha.
Let's go. Brazil always have great teams, strong teams, and all over the world. Teams like Santos from Pelé, Coutinho, Pepe, the Botafogo of Garrincha, Flamengo of Zico, and São Paulo of Raí. These teams were strong, but with the globalization, our players started to go out from Brazil earlier. They were used to go out from Brazil with 26, 27 years old, and now they are leaving Brazil with 16 and 17, and they are playing for the big clubs in the world, and almost these 15 more big clubs in Brazil, in the world, like teams from England, teams from Spain, teams from French. That's why the clubs from Brazil lost their strong, but the players are still being stars in the world.
Your thoughts on Paraguay and Colombia? Paraguay is playing in Mumbai and Colombia is in the India group. Your thoughts on their level because they are part of the South American group?
O Sul-Americano classificatório foi uma competição muito difícil e essas equipes se comportaram muito bem. O Paraguai vem mantendo uma seleção permanente, já estão juntos há bastante tempo, com um trabalho muito qualificado. Uma equipe que não tem tantos jogadores individualmente num nível tão alto, mas a parte do conjunto é muito forte, uma equipe muito competitiva. Nós não conseguimos vencê-los no Sul-Americano, foram 2 empates, um por 1-1 e outro por 2-2, foi a única equipe que não conseguimos vencer. A Colômbia, uma equipe muito bem treinada também, o Restrepo, uma equipe técnica, uma equipe que privilegia muito as jogadas de bola parada, o escanteio, a falta lateral com jogadas combinadas. E o Chile foi o dono da casa e se mostrou um time que, com a ajuda da sua torcida, muito forte dentro dessa competição e com jogadores bastante qualificados.
So we had this South America qualification. It was really difficult for us, but these teams they played a really good football there. Paraguay is a strong team because they are working together since a long time, and they don't have individual skills with their main subject, but the collective are really strong. As a team, they are really strong, and we didn't beat them. That was the only team that we couldn't beat in our qualification. We had 2 draws with them. And Colombia is a really technical team. They are really well trained by Restrepo, which is their coach, and they are used to play with free kicks. Their free kicks are really strong. And also we have Chile from South America, and Chile shown really strong playing in their home, and now they will have to show something here in India, which is really different.
Question to the Brazilian coach again. The star player, of course, is Vinicius, but how do you, given the transfer that happened recently, how do you keep him prepared for a World Cup, and also how do you maintain the atmosphere to make sure the other players are also focused?
Claro que a grande estrela desse time é o Vinícius. Como que você faz para manter ele focado na competição depois de uma transferência dessas e também manter os outros jogadores envolvidos nessa atmosfera?
Primeiro, entender o contexto, né? O Vinícius ele tem se destacado nessa categoria, já subiu para a categoria profissional. Teve uma venda que chamou a atenção do mundo, mas é um jogador que ele mantém um foco porque ele quer estar aqui. Ele está vindo para essa competição, para esse Mundial. Ele pediu para estar aqui, ele acha importante, ele sente prazer de estar com os companheiros dele, representando a sua seleção, representando o seu país. Eu acho que isso é o mais importante, é quando a pessoa está se disponibilizando. Então, eu acho que o foco dele, assim que terminar a final da Copa do Brasil, onde a equipe dele enfrenta o Cruzeiro, né, nessa final, e após essa final, ele viaja e se integra normalmente à equipe. Quanto ao entrosamento, como ele já tem 2 anos e meio junto com essa equipe, não teremos o menor problema quanto a isso.
So, first of all, we have to understand the context that Vinicius are inside. He's been our main player in that age since the under 15, and he has called the attention of all over the world. He had this transfer, but after this, he asked us to come to this competition. He told us that he wanted to be here. He is proud to serve his country, and that's the most important for us because when the players want to be here, for us it's the most important, a player like him. And for sure, after his final at the national competition that he has in Brazil right now against Cruzeiro, and he will playing for his team, he will join us here on Saturday. And about the playing together with these guys, they are playing together since 2015, so it will not be a problem to don't have him at the first days of training sessions.
My question is to the William coach. There's been a lot of talk about your attacking forward players, but in the South American Championship, you just considered 3 goals. So can you tell us about your defensive minded players and what can we expect from them?
Todo mundo fala muito da defesa, do ataque do time, que faz muitos gols, mas a defesa também só sofreu 3 gols no Sul-Americano. O que você pode falar dessa defesa? Qual é o segredo dela?
A gente considera a equipe uma equipe equilibrada. Não adianta a gente fazer muitos gols e acabar perdendo o jogo, tomando muitos gols. Então a gente busca o equilíbrio. O sistema defensivo ele começa do primeiro atacante, seja do Vinícius, seja do Paulinho, seja do Brenner, dos jogadores mais adiantados. Então todos participam desse processo de marcação e isso faz com que a nossa defesa tenha um comportamento mais sólido. Além de bons jogadores, naturalmente as pessoas olham o Brasil sempre com jogadores mais habilidosos, jogadores do último terço do campo, jogadores que definem, mas nós temos muita qualidade durante muitos e muitos anos com os nossos goleiros e com os nossos defensores também.
So the first thing that we consider is the equality of our team. We are not looking to score many goals, just to receive many goals too. We are looking to score goals and to not conceive goals. Our defense system starts with our first forward. It can be Vinicius, Paulinho, Brenner, which one is there, but it starts with them, and that's why we have this solid defense, because when the ball goes there, it's easier for the defenders because it had started in the first middle of the field. Of course, that when people look to Brazil, they are always trying to find the forward who scores or who are making the dribbles. But we have this solid defense. We have many quality in our goalkeepers, in our defenders, and you can see that in our stars right now playing around the world.
You just mentioned about the geographic location of New Zealand doesn't really give you a chance to do much. What are the kind of opportunities you guys have had in your careers, the league system and everything, and of course playing for the national team? And what do you guys want to achieve, at least from the practice matches? Is it a yardstick that you're looking to achieve?
Well, I mean, we've only got one professional team in our country, and we play in an Australian league, so that's about the only exposure that we really get. Unless people have foreign passports and they have the opportunity to go places like Europe or South America and play overseas, but it doesn't happen very often. So, I mean, these are the best opportunities we're going to get. Age group World Cups, and then if we do, then we progress on to the full men's team, and then those competitions and so on. So, I mean, it's pretty exciting. This is our biggest opportunity so far in our lives. And I'm sure for everybody at this tournament as well, first world tournament. So it's very exciting for us, and we're looking to, do something great here. So, yeah.
A question to a Brazilian coach. You just mentioned that Brazilian players that as young as 15 and 16 are leaving Brazil to go and play for different clubs and different sports. So in future, when the Brazilian under-17 team is formed or built, will it be easier for you or a coach to handle these players who are smarter with their experience outside, or will you get players who have different ideas of how the football is played, and you have to sort of make them unlearn whatever they have learned there and put together their style of play?
você falou da questão dos jogadores do Brasil estarem saindo muito cedo, né? Se isso, de certa forma, te atrapalha a questão de na hora de montar o time para implantar uma filosofia brasileira de jogo, ou se isso, na verdade, te ajuda por eles trazerem uma questão mais moderna, enfim, ou talvez mais europeia, e você encaixar dentro de uma filosofia brasileira de jogo.
Eu acho que nós temos as duas situações. Nós temos os pontos positivos e nós temos algumas dificuldades. As dificuldades na hora de treinar juntos, de se encontrar mais vezes. Um atleta, por exemplo, que vai até o Real Madrid ou qualquer time desse, só querem liberar na data FIFA. Então isso prejudica o entrosamento, prejudica a parte de entrosamento. Mas eles também vivenciarem outras escolas, outra cultura, outro tipo de treinamento, eu acho que agrega, eu acho que faz com que eles também consigam evoluir. Então eu acho que a gente tem que se adaptar a essa realidade, não cabe a gente se queixar, reclamar do que está acontecendo. Cabe a nós nos adaptarmos e tirarmos proveito desses pontos positivos e minimizar os pontos negativos.
I can see both situations here. We have the positive and we have the difficulties of this the situations. The difficulties is to be together, to train together, to develop as a team. Because when a young player are in Real Madrid, Barcelona, teams like this, they just they don't allow us to use them out of FIFA dates. And but the other side is that when they are living in another country, they are experiencing another culture, another school of football, another style of training sessions, of practice, and these things helps them to develop the football, to grow up in their career. So we don't have to look at this with negative eyes. We have to look at this, understand this, and get used with this, because this is our reality.
Question again, Brazilian coach. In a country like Brazil, where almost every household produces a football player, how difficult is it to scout and pick players for the national teams?
No Brasil, quase todo mundo joga futebol, em todas as casas tem pelo menos um jogador de futebol. O quão difícil é para fazer o scout, né, para achar os talentos?
Pelo Brasil ser um país muito parecido com a Índia, né, muito grande, um país com um tamanho continental, e onde cada região também se pratica futebol, nós temos que montar uma equipe de scouts, de observadores, que vão mapeando esses torneios que acontecem no Brasil de base. Pelo menos nós temos aí 20 a 25 clubes que trabalham com a formação de atletas. Em cima dessa observação, a gente senta os scouts e os treinadores para discutir a convocação desses atletas. Na sub-15, na categoria sub-15, a gente aumenta o número de convocados entre 60 a 80 atletas, onde a gente observa em loco, treinamos com eles, e depois vamos diminuindo ao sub-17 e no sub-20, porque são jogadores que já vêm jogando campeonatos onde são mais facilmente monitorados. Mas como o Brasil é um país continental e que tem regiões que surgem jogadores de uma hora para outra, jogadores que evoluem, jogadores que estão num centro menor e que ainda não foram observados, esses às vezes vêm para um centro maior e aparecem, a gente às vezes brinca, aparece do nada, mas sempre surge esse tipo de jogador e muitas vezes não são detectados na base, muitas vezes já vão ser detectados no profissional. Ainda precisamos evoluir nesse sentido, justamente por conta disso. Nós temos uma quantidade hoje de observadores, de scouts, mas precisamos ainda aumentar e criar competições que nos dê uma facilidade maior para monitorar, ou seja, a gente está buscando evoluir nesse sentido.
Brazil is big as India. We have a continental country, and in all regions we have players, we have kids playing football, and for this we have a staff of scouters. They are looking and searching for, trying to find new players every day. Nowadays we have 20 to 25 strong teams in Brazil, strong clubs with an academy of developing players, and we work inside of this number. And for the call of the national team, when we talk about the under 15 category age, we have a number of 60 to 80 players that we are calling and watching them in local. And after this, when we go to the under 17 and then the under 20, we closing that limit to 40 and 30 players. And but as Brazil is this continental country, sometimes we are surprised because a player that never appears at the youth age will appear at the professional in another region, and that's something that we are trying to develop, trying to make it better, because it's not good for us to be surprised. So right now what we have to do is to have more staff of scouting professionals, and we are trying to produce better competitions for the youth teams to show for us these stars or the quality of these young players.
Wait a minute, please. Além disso, nós temos contamos com a colaboração de todos os treinadores, né? Que a gente também tem convocado eles para participar do nosso trabalho, conhecer o trabalho, e essa parceria tem feito com que esses treinadores também passem a ser multiplicadores e passem essas informações dos atletas que surgem em cada região.
Beside of this, right now we are working with a partnership with the coaches of the clubs in Brazil. Sometimes they are working with us in the national team. We are calling them sometimes. One coach from south, one coach from northeast, one coach from the center of the country, and when they come to work with us at the national team, when they come back to their clubs, they are they are talking about our philosophy of game, and that's something that are helping us, this partnership with the coaches of the clubs.
Penso que os grupos ficaram bem equilibrados. O grupo do Brasil é um grupo muito difícil. Tem o campeão sul-americano, tem o campeão europeu, então são duas grandes forças. A gente tem que lembrar que a África é um continente que domina a categoria. São 8 títulos desse continente contra 6 títulos somados Europa e América do Sul. Então, qualquer equipe africana ela é uma grande força nessa competição. E nós temos a Coreia do Norte, que é uma equipe que é uma incógnita, uma interrogação. A gente não tem muita informação, é um país mais fechado. Por conta disso, a gente não tem tantas informações. Eu vejo esse Mundial muito equilibrado, com grandes possibilidades para boa parte das seleções. A gente vê os times africanos com grande potencial e com força para chegar a ser campeão, como no Mundial passado. Foram 2 equipes, Mali e Nigéria, que fizeram a final. Eu vejo a Europa hoje com todas as seleções classificadas com um grande potencial, mas especialmente a Espanha e a Inglaterra. Eu vejo o México e Estados Unidos com 2 muito boas equipes. Então, eu acho que vai ser o Mundial do equilíbrio. de muitas seleções, de muitos times em condições de serem campeões.
Talking about our group, it's a really strong group because we have the South American champion, the European champion, and after this we have an African team which is ever strong in this age. If you look to the statistics, Africa as a continent, they have 8 trophies in this World Cup. And South America and Europe together, they have only 6. So when you face an African team in this age, it's ever difficult. And we have Korea, DPR, which we don't have many information because it's a more closed country, so it's not easy to get information from them. So it will be a really difficult group. And I look to this World Cup as the World Cup of the equality, because we have these African teams which is really strong. We have European with all the teams from Europe. They are really strong, and more Spain and England. They have a really strong team, and we see Mexico, United States. They have made a really great team for this World Cup too. So this will be probably the World Cup of the equality, because there are many teams with chances to win.
Well, what a way to end the conversation there. He called it the World Cup of equality.
Wow.
I mean,
he should be getting some award for that.
Yeah, he just gave a punchline towards the end of the conference, and we all had a smile on our face when he said that. Because the way he mentioned, saying that this looks like, because there are the African teams who are good at it, there are these South American teams who are champions, there are these European teams, there are these Asian teams who are out there fighting for it.
And there's India.
Hey, come on, where does India fall, Kevin? They don't fall outside any of this.
India's presence is the biggest sign of equality.
Yeah, exactly. Chalo, tum bhi aa jao.
Ultimate.
Yeah, exactly. But keeping the jokes aside, I mean, you heard him speak. He's not taking things lightly, and everybody's expecting to be a big game, and it's a Brazilian team, right? We all know how he talks about the way they come from the household. Every household will have a star or a future star in them in Brazil, but that's how he talks about the way they do that, the way they churn on their players and get them out. But now let's focus on the other teams, and let's talk about our thoughts about this group. Kevin, who do you pick as a topper?
Let's. We shouldn't get into the biggest news of this group.
Yeah.
We should break it down in this way, that there are champions in this group, and there are unknowns in this group.
Yeah.
Now, from unknowns, North Korea is top, because it's everything is secretive, whatever North Korea does.
Yeah.
And so did
that's what he mentions.
So did the coach mention.
We're gonna need special permission to find out who scored in the matches.
Okay, so North Korea, again, they're not any newbies in this tournament. They've been part earlier, and quarterfinals is what their best finish has been.
In 2005. Yeah.
Niger is a surprise package to all the African nations, because the way they've come up, they beat Nigeria on the way through.
Yep.
Nigeria is one of the most successful teams in the World Cup, in the Under-17 World Cup, and getting them off their way is something like a big achievement. And physicality is where the Niger team will be ahead of both. The Latin American, yes, Brazilians can find Indian climatic conditions very similar to what they have. The second best would be the African teams. So mind you, when you have the climate draining you out, it's when you need your energy the most, and the second half or the later stages of a match is where you will have the real test. So that's where Niger will have the edge over other teams. Spain, again, they are known for their short passes. They are known for their beautiful created free kicks, set piece corners.
The European flavor.
Yes, and that is where other teams might just be lacking. Set pieces can be your game changers at times. And North Korea, coming to North Korea, we hardly know anything about this team, but again, we've seen the North Korean club that plays. They play compact. They don't play too many, unnecessary passes. I'm expecting a similar game from this team as well.
Chiranjit, your thoughts on the group?
Brazil is gonna kill. It's gonna kill because Kochi is way more humid than what Spain players would be used to.
Yeah.
Okay, they're here for the first time. They will play a couple of warm-up games, I'm pretty sure. But I think even though I'm not saying Spain team is necessarily worse than Brazil at the moment, but Brazil would be boosted by so many factors. They will acclimatize to the climate better. They're gonna have a bigger support. Like Kerala, so many Brazil fans over there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly Brazil and Argentina, but they obviously like the Latin American flavor. They're gonna fill the stadium. They're gonna wear Kerala Blasters jerseys and it's gonna look yellow Brazil. It's gonna be like Brazil will feel like they're playing at home, and even in I'm pretty sure even in their own home country, not enough people. I mean, not those many people will turn out to watch the under-17 team play. Like 60,000-70,000 sold out crowd in Kochi. So it's gonna be Brazil will just demolish everything. Let's just say Spain. I mean, this is a group of death because there are two champion teams, and there's a high risk, high reward situation. If you topple a champion, a continental champion, you just get a lot of wind on your sail. But I don't really see that much chance of surprises because North Korea, they reached the semi-finals of the Asian Championship last year here, and it wasn't really. I mean they were good. Let's say they were good, but just look at who they played. They were losing. Who did they lose to? Uzbekistan. They lost to Uzbekistan. They got 1-1 draws with Oman and Iran. Although Iran, I think, are the best team, and they went and drew with Iran 1-1 and lost in penalties. That's still a big achievement. So North Korea can be arguably said that they are one of the best in Asia. But I think they can put up a fight against Niger, but not against Spain, not the best in Europe, not the best in Latin America.
Yeah.
It just it figures. These guys, I mean, look at the players they have. Spain have I think some 12 players from Real Madrid and Barcelona combined.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got this guy has Flamengo players all over the place. The Vinicius Junior already plays from Flamengo.
Yeah,
he's already playing. No man, I just don't see any chance of a miracle happening here. Maybe Kim Jong-un has the power to, but he's not playing. But anyway, yeah, I'm never going to North Korea after this.
So I mean, yeah, that's that, and I mean it's obvious. So let's see if things can go wrong in this group. And Kochi is where they play once again. Just to mention, North Korea, Niger, Brazil, and Spain come through the Group D for the Under-17 FIFA World Cup. Now that's all from us. And yes, it was a pretty extensive show, but I'm sure you're happy because hey. You don't hear every day a coach from Brazil talk on our show. So there you go. We got him on the show. So I'm sure you're happy. And all the Kochi people in Kochi will be really excited to watch, and so am I. That was the revealing of...
Yeah, that reveal.
Yeah, that was the revealing of who's going to be in Kochi for that game.
I think Brazil versus Spain is easily the most exciting fixture of this World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we bid our goodbyes today from the studio. And if you want to follow us, talk to us, you can do that on Twitter. Boz_Kevin, Suju Matthew 94, Chiranjit Oja. Those are Twitter handles. Do follow TFG Football Twitter handle to get all the updates of Indian football and also the FIFA World Cup. You can also read about the match report of Bengaluru FC in case you missed the match on our website, thefangras.com, and all the previews and other stories related to World Cup and Indian football. Also check out you'll have the links in our description on our YouTube channel. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get updates of our new episode. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you thought about the Bengaluru FC match and also about this group and the thoughts of Brazil's coach. Have a great day, folks. Come back to us tomorrow because we're a daily show. And have a great day. Cheers.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India. But unfortunately, most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started atkt.in. Hi, I'm Ankur. I'm a musician and a rapper. And I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through atkt.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. atkt.in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts
to get some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.